When it gets hot, people do get sick, but for some, doctors say that could be because they're dealing with side effects from prescriptions or their meds that stop working in the heat. KEPKV's Emily Goodell spoke to pharmacy directors at 2 local hospitals who say you need to take a closer look at the drugs you're taking.
Many prescription drugs have side effects in the heat and sun. One's Yakima Valley Memorial Hospital pharmacy director Michael Hull says you might not be aware of.
I think anytime that you've been on a medication for a period of time, sometimes you forget maybe that original counseling, and so it's always good to go back and make sure you understand the potential risk and side effect with all of your medications.
Hull says a common side effect for antibiotics and acne medications is sun sensitivity.
Extreme burning sunburn is one of the common effects with that. You can develop skin rash.
Astria Health System Pharmacy Director Elizabeth Jensen says some drugs can also make you more sensitive to getting dehydrated.
So if you take a diuretic or something like that, or even a blood pressure medication that's bringing your blood pressure down, making sure that you're getting plenty of water is very important.
Jensen says that's not the only concern with prescriptions in extreme temperatures.
If it gets too hot or too cold, it can cause the medication to no longer be good, or in some rare cases be not safe to use. The most common adverse effect would be if you're taking it for a reason and it breaks down, it's no longer working. So for example, if it's an antibiotic, it's not going to treat your infection. If it's a blood pressure medication, it's not going to decrease your blood pressure effectively.
Pharmacists say that's why you shouldn't leave prescription or over-the-counter drugs in the car or in your mailbox. If you're taking liquid medications like insulin, make sure to use an ice pack or cooler.
You probably don't want to stick it right on the cold pack, because that could make it too cold as well.
If your meds do get left in a hot place for a while,
if it has a physical change to it, so the color is changed, there's maybe a smell to it, or if it's gel caps and they're sticking together or melted, that's probably a pretty good indication that there's been some damage from the sun.
Call your pharmacist and tell them what happened. If they say you need a replacement, contact your insurance company.
They might charge you an extra copay, but authorize it to be filled sooner, or maybe there's a contingency where they would just fill it again.
But whatever you do, don't ignore the warnings.
Really, we're dealing with science here, and the science is that the integrity of the medication will break down with extreme temperatures, and you're taking that medication for a reason. You're taking it for your health most likely, and so it's just very important to try to understand what it takes to keep that medication's integrity within the temperature storage conditions.
Emily Goodell, KEPKV Local News.
And if your prescription does cause sun sensitivity, there should be a warning label on the bottle or packaging. If you don't see one and are still concerned, you can call your pharmacist.